Well, guess what, friends? Hey, listen to this. It is Friday, and you know what happens on Fridays, right? We have a wonderful, wonderful show. We wrap up the week. We go back into looking at what happened this past week, and we dig in a little bit further. We've got something really special for you at the end of the podcast as well. We've got a special guest, Decode, will be giving us a full hour of his time, dropping a lot of insight, and we're going to tell you how you can watch it, because one of the channels we're not going to be streaming it on. We're going to tell you that in just a minute. But it's Friday. We got to get the show on the road. Let's rock. And you know who's here. Look at that hair. I love that hair, Mr. Poppy. Good to see you, my friend.
Great to be seen as well, Robert. It's always, I look forward to Fridays because I get to hang out with you. Every day is like Friday. It's all a mindset. Everybody looks forward to the weekend. You get, Mondays, they hate Mondays, hump day. Now Friday, everybody's looking forward to the weekend. If you have that mindset, every day is like Friday, it's going to be a beautiful thing.
It really is. And I look forward to Fridays too. Lewis and I were talking about it yesterday. We were looking at the numbers on the Rumble channels, and the Friday show is the most viewed show of all.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got this. And it is because we're a little bit lighthearted. We have a little bit of fun, and we look at the news, and you and I kind of have a similar look on things, and we can laugh about a lot of the craziness that's going on. And I'll tell you, Bruce, last night after my conversation with Decode, I was feeling really, really good. I was feeling real excited about, what's happening and where we are. And there's a strong foundation that is certainly here. Doesn't mean we're not going to go through some rough stuff. We are. I think everyone's on board with that. We're going to go through some rough stuff, but we're going to get through it. And on the other side, all this crap that we've been dealing with for so long will be flushed away. So he's another one who's been digging deep and doing a lot of research, and similar to SG Anon, similar to, Scott McKay has the same kind of outlook on a lot of this stuff too, the Patriot Street Fighter. So how are you feeling, Bruce, about everything that's going on right now? Are you still feeling positive and upbeat? It's a stupid question because you're always positive and upbeat.
Well, it is. I have been, tempering my rage, my cool rage, the rage. When you see all this, unnecessary stuff, that's going on, and, seemingly none of the traditional type of recourses, they've essentially taken away our ability to redress our grievances from the government. So, all of this stuff, it get frustrating. That's where some of my stuff is, but I'm happy and positive. I mean, it's the greatest time on earth to be alive, getting to see and witness and partake and, being able to help so many other people, learn, grow, understand, be a part of the, movement going forward of us, we the people taking back, what is really supposed to have been ours all along. So, yeah, I have a huge excitement about, every day that I wake up, and one of the first things I do is start scrolling through the headlines, see what other kind of, chaos and BS that the deep state is trying to push on us. And it's getting to the point where it's like reading the Sunday comics. It's comical when you have an understanding of the game that they play and the narrative that they're trying to shove, and you know some of the truth. It's comical. And it's just unfortunate that so many other people don't see it yet.
Well, it takes people like us to see it first and then share it. And I think, if you look at the audience that we have, and we thank everyone here who's watching today, either live or replay, thank you. And we appreciate you so much. Make sure you follow our channels, Unpopular Viewpoints, Screw Big Gov, Renegade Media. Make sure you're following all of them, because we're all going to be doing different content going forward here. We're going to keep doing the shows. This doesn't stop, but we're also going to be putting other content together for you. So, you can see different things. But I'm going to tell you, it's because we keep having this conversation that we're dropping these pebbles and we're making these ripples, and more people are starting to see, it's really, it's going to be some rough water, but at some point, we get past the rapids and we get back where it's nice and smooth again, and I think we're getting closer to the worst part of the rapids, certainly. Yeah. And that's probably, in some ways, some people say, well, it's the most exciting part, isn't it? That's why you get on the right water, right?
Yeah.
You go for the rapids. Great. And then on the other side, you get to that nice smooth water where you can fish and you can hang out and you can do whatever, and just kind of relax and enjoy the day. So we're headed there. No question.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I've never been whitewater rafting myself yet, but I've seen plenty of stuff, and I know we're right at that point where the person, steering the boat, the guide or whatever, and you're getting ready to go over these big rapids, and he's like, "Paddle, paddle!" What we need to do is, we the people, we need to start paddling. We need to do something. We need to do something, push over the edge. Otherwise, we're going to hit a rock and flip over. So, I mean, that's a great analogy. I love that. So it just popped into my mind. Thank you, Universe.
Well, Bruce, you and I need to go whitewater rafting. We'll get Lewis.
I want to go.
Yeah, we'll get Lewis and the girls, and we'll go.
I've led a sheltered life. I was probably over 40. I was in my middle 40s before I went west of the Mississippi River.
Wow.
I was, burbs of Chicago, moved to Florida. That was pretty much it. But the last year and a half, 2 years, God bless America. If you saw my wife, she kept that tracking thing on Google, the maps. All the United States is almost. But the Palestinian people, those are separate, and it's important that we make some of those delineations to be able to get people understand the lies that are coming through the media. Like, let's listen to the news stuff. I don't watch it, but clips and different things. Israel, Hamas. They don't talk much about the Palestinian people.
That's right. They never do, though. Hey, speaking about getting screwed, have you been over to 𝙀𝙡𝙚𝙚𝙀𝙀 recently? We're streaming on the 𝙀𝙀𝙚𝙀 channel today, so go visit their website. 𝙀𝙀𝙚𝙀, this is Lewis's website. We got to get rid of that truth tour button. We need to replace it with rememberyouroath.com, which we're going to talk a little bit about today as well. New t-shirt out too. I want to show you the design. Really, really nice. You can find everything about Lewis there, including the social media button where you can find his channel on there. Also, we discovered that some people are having trouble finding 𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀 on Rumble. If you type 𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀 as 3 separate words, it doesn't come up. If you type it as one word altogether, no spaces between the words, you'll find it immediately. So just something we're going to work on. We'll try to figure it out. We're going to contact tech support over there in Rumble and see if we can get listed correctly for that channel. But make sure you're following 𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀, make sure you're following Renegade Media, and also Bruce's channel, Unpopular Viewpoint, and all of us have channels on Telegram as well. So if you want to reach Bruce and I, here's the way you do that. Bruce's email is brucepoppy@switch-usa.com. Bruce Poppy at switch-usa.com. I'm Robert at renegademedia.tv, Robert at renegademedia.tv, and we love your emails. We love your sending us stories all week long. It just really helps us in planning and preparing for the show. Bruce, I gotta tell you something. I was looking at all these court cases, and we were talking about this a little bit this week, that it just seems like every day they tend to fall apart a little bit more. There's some other piece that falls away, where Trump was up for 900 years in prison, something crazy like that. 91 indictments. I forget the numbers.
91 different indictments, or 91 different charges over 4 indictments.
Yeah, it's and it's falling apart by the moment, which is kind of interesting. And Judge Aileen Carroll seems to be on our side. She said, "Hey, we're going to pause this whole thing. We're not going to continue here because this doesn't make a whole lot of sense." So let me pull up the content here. I'm in the wrong section again. Isn't that funny? So she decided.
People who aren't aware, she's the judge that's in charge of the classified documents case, in Florida, from the illegal unconstitutional raid on Mar-a-Lago. Right. So the classified documents case, she's the judge on that one. And nowadays, whenever you talk about judges, they're always so she is a Trump-appointed judge. So today she said she's going to delay Jack Smith's classified documents trial against the president. This is kind of cool. There are more than 1.3 million documents, or actually probably pages of documents is what they probably mean to say, and a year's worth of Mar-a-Lago footage to review. Furthermore, Jack Smith hit Trump with 3 additional charges in a superseding indictment in the classified documents case in July. Several weeks after the first indictment, Trump's lawyers rightfully asked Cannon to postpone the classified documents trial. Jack Smith is breaking DOJ rules. It seems like every time the guy turns around, the judge is chastising him and the prosecutors for some stupid criminal mistake. This guy's allegedly supposed to be, the cat's meow, or, some big shot attorney, and he's acting like a first-year law student in some of the stuff and the filings that he's making with these judges. It's just comical. to watch. Like it's like watching the Sunday comics.
It really is, and you know he comes with a reputation because he's been in the Supreme Court before, and he got kicked out several times from the Supreme Court because, again, he's just way overcharging, you know, way outside of he's punching outside of his weight class, I think is the best way to put it. Right? Yeah. We have a special visitor joining us right now. I see him in the back room.
Dun dun dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Who is it? Who could it possibly be? What's that song, Bruce? Who could it be now? What was that?
My name is Lewis Herms, don't you know? I can't sing, and that's for show.
None of us can. We're not. Well,
so practice zooming.
Practice safe zooming.
Hands-free zooming. So I have my hands on the zoom, not on the steering wheel, because, you know, with all the automation with cars nowadays, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
You're literally good to go.
Yes. Yes.
Court cases fall apart, Lewis.
I know. Isn't that funny?
It's hilarious. I'm loving it.
It's that golden boomerang we talk about all the time.
Yep.
Smacks them right back in the face. They can't even catch it when it comes back.
It's like in the Mad Max movie, that young kid, you know, that has the boomerang, and he throws it, and somebody tries to catch it, and poof, fingers get chopped off. Yep. That's what's happening, except we're aiming for the neck.
I love it.
Don't get violent, Bruce. Yes. I think it's a beautiful thing, guys. This is why, yes, all the things that we see can be upsetting, but if people don't see the momentum and the way the deep state is just falling apart, it's like they stitch together their outfits with silly string. Right, because it's just everything about them just falling apart. They don't need continuity anymore. Which
That's a great
hilarious.
Analogy. Yeah,
I made that up. That'll be my next T-shirt.
I like that one though. You know, they're stitched together with silly string. Boy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So it's kind of fun to watch. Wow, but I just watched the. Play already. The Trump's attorney come out and just excoriate Letitia James. She just tore her apart. It was really beautiful to see.
Yeah, Alina Habba, she came out on fire today. I was trying to get a cleaner copy of that video, but I couldn't get one. But I did get the one from Eric Trump coming out and basically, you know, echoing the same sentiment his dad has echoed. You know, we're a good company. We employ a lot of New Yorkers, thousands of them, in fact. And instead of them coming out and saying, hey, we want to support the, you know, the exact opposite of what you'd want to do in that kind of situation.
I couldn't hear you guys. Sorry, you broke up. And don't repeat it on my account since you have a whole audience watching. We'll just go on to the next subject.
Let's play the clip of Eric Trump. Let's see if you can hear this.
But what the state is trying to do to my father is absolutely insane. We have one of the greatest companies.
On the stands because she knows the media is going to be there. She gets FaceTime.
Right. So what I'm getting out of this is what the Democrats have been phenomenal at is marketing their message. Very consistent. They're all on the same page, all on the same talking points. And finally, somebody like the Trump team is showing by example, let's just get on all the same talking points.
Yeah.
So that's why you hear the attorney and Eric Trump, and I'm sure Don Jr. will be out next and everybody else. They're constantly on the same page because they understand that they have to be unified in unified society. You can't just hear something one time and grasp it anymore. It's really sad because the marketing is so intense that you have to permeate that with multiple messages. And Robert, you know that better than anybody as being a marketing business guy. You understand that back in the 80s, a couple marketing messages could get done what it would take 15 or 20 to get done today.
Yep, absolutely. And you're right. They are really good at it. They know how to get in front of the camera. I mean, they know that whole theory. I've been teaching that for many years. So you want to be famous, you want to be popular, you got to go where the cameras are. So if you want to be an actor, an actress, you want to get in, you got to go where the camera. I always feel bad as a marketer that the politicians learned marketing Because it was so much better when they didn't know what they were doing. It was so much easier. But now that they know the marketing and they know the psychology of the marketing even more powerfully, they really can massage that message in a way that it's hard to avoid falling for it. They got real good at it.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So they're doing a great job, the Trump team. And I think they're teaching everybody, because I watch the conservatives watch Trump, and they're teaching everybody how you fight back against the deep state in every manner, not just the consistent messaging. You know, the way you speak, how you address it, how you don't back down, how you call people out. So hopefully this will permeate everything, and after we tear everything down, we'll rebuild, and maybe we don't have to do this anymore. Because it really is a game. Even the Trump team is playing a game right now.
They really are. And the really cool part is to watch these cases literally falling apart. I mean, the case in New York City looks like it's, you know, it has no more teeth. It's really fallen apart. And now the Jack Smith case being put on hold down in Florida, that's really kind of fun to see that. And, you know, there's information now on J6 and how they buried Kash Patel's testimony right until the very end. It was the last thing they put out. They said, oh, he wasn't available. But he was one of the first people to get interviewed.
Yeah, the beautiful thing is Liz Cheney is on record saying that Kash Patel was not available, which means she's in a lot of trouble.
Yep. I have that video. Shall we run it?
Hey, I'm glad I'm ahead of you this time.
I think we were going to start with President Trump. Are they ready to call their first witness?
Yes, we would call Kash Patel. To your knowledge, did any...
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
That was in the video?
That was in the video, yeah.
Yeah, you're starting to sound like no.
I know.
That was a dude.
Yes, that was a dude. So anyways, I read virtually the entire transcript, by the way, which is a lot. This was not the shortest testimony ever. And then I really just read more about Kash Patel. I think he plays a huge part in this, and it's not an accident that he's the front man to a lot of this. He's extraordinarily articulate in his message, and he puts out exactly what needs us people that maybe consider ourselves awake, of course, but
I think you muted again, Lewis. Your audio's gone. Now the video's gone.
He hit the wrong button.
Why don't you jump in, Bruce, and give us your thoughts?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you now.
You can hear me. I can't hear you, of course.
Okay.
So I was noticing Lewis's hair, and something really came to mind.
Uh-huh.
While I was watching him, talk and share his hair in the car there, kind of reminded me of this guy.
I don't see it yet. It's not popping up.
There, it should come up now.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there you go.
So Lewis has got that James Dean look about his hair. A couple more months on that Numi, and he'll be, we call him James Dean.
He will, yeah. Yeah. So it looks like to me, Bruce, if I'm just looking at this, it looks like we're coming close to the end of a lot of these court cases.
Well, I don't see how they can carry on. I mean, as dismally as they seem to be going, I think some of their plan was to carry this stuff out onto and through the 24 situation, as far into 24 as they can to muddy up Trump as much as possible. But I just don't see it going that far. There's just there's nothing there, and it's becoming more and more of a joke every single day. There's no justice in our justice. It's just exposing and it's disclosure that our judiciary is mostly because there is some stuff going on. We've had seen some good cases recently that had reasonably good outcomes as far as I'm concerned, but these big, I call them the TV cases, they're worthless and pointless.
It may have been. And I was thinking about this, very early on when all these court cases came out, that they knew when they brought all these charges that most of them, if not all of them, would fail. But that wasn't the play. The play wasn't to get that conviction, although they'd love to have one, because then they could block him from being on the ballot, right? If they don't have a conviction, they can't. So that whole case in Colorado, trying to keep him off the ballot, they need him to be charged with insurrection, which he was never charged with insurrection, right? So that whole thing is done anyway. It's just show it right now. So I'm just wondering, if I look at this, I think, okay, maybe that was the game plan, just to muddy him up. Give him a couple black eyes, mess up his hair, but they knew they couldn't get all the way through and these things would fall. And it's a huge distraction. It's a ton of money for him to be fighting. These lawyers are getting paid a lot, right, to fight this. And, maybe that was their play. That was the game.
I mean, it's probably part of the play too. Yeah. I mean, Letitia James up there in New York, that whole civil thing, they're going, it's a civil case, no jury, just a judge. $250 million are looking to extract from the Trump family, and essentially make it impossible for them to do business in New York. I mean, that's their purpose. And so you're exactly right. Muddying them up, setting them broke. I mean, because in this whole lawfare to societal change that we're moving into with these guys, the only people who win are the attorneys. And we know most of them, I can't do a blanket indictment, but a lot of attorneys are end up no good, no bueno.
Yep.
Right. There's the joke I've heard. What do you call a million attorneys at the bottom of the ocean? A good start. So that there's.
Hey, we have some attorneys watching. Be careful.
Well, yeah. Like I said, not all. There's the larger percentage are probably doing good work, but it's just like everything else. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. You got these yappers. Out there, these small percentage of people, they seem to get all the press, and that make it like that's the national consensus. So this is some of the fake and false crap that we're exposing all the time. And
our media amplifies it. The mainstream media does amplify it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lewis is back.
I'm back.
Hey.
Welcome back.
You want to add something to this topic, because this is near and dear to all of us here?
Well, it's the lawfare is it's epic. The best illustration of that I've seen is if anybody wants to really do some reading, there's 87 pages of the lawsuit where Lindell actually went after Dominion and their ilk, and that's a beautiful lawsuit to. If you don't want to read it, just go find my movie that got completely banned everywhere, calling the I don't even remember what it's called. It was called the Mother of All Lawsuits. But what it says in there, which is really, really interesting, is it really talks about lawfare and the games that they play in order to put somebody in a position where you have to cave. And unfortunately for my family, we went through this. I'm not going to tell the story now, but we went through this, where a cabal company went after us, and we actually ended up winning. We got them to back off, but it just
us buying their products and paying off the vets. So this company, Pet Club 24/7, Pet Club 247, has a full line of pet treats, food, and toys that are number one made and sourced in America. And one of the cool things about it, a lot of it contains this Coriolis versicolor mushroom. And it has insane possibilities and results that you can have in boosting immune systems. I mean, the testimonies, there's over 400 independent, not the company's science advisory board, over 400 independent studies, places like Harvard and all these places that study all these different things concerning the Coriolis versicolor mushroom. So you can check all this stuff out. We're partnered with them. It's our website link is healthyswitch.petclub247.com, healthyswitch.petclub247.com. And let me say, just so you can see what the website looks like, so you're in the right place. But all the information there's videos, information, you can shop, be a member. And then also we need voices, right? Because these pets don't have a voice. So we're looking for 1 million voices. That's our initial goal. 1 million voices of people standing up and advocating for pets and making changes and educating pet owners or are fur babies. Many people, their pets are even more important, or they are their children. So if you want to be an advocate for pets, be a voice. Make sure you email me, brucepoppy@switch-usa.com, and I'll help you do that. You can just go to the site, get the information, order some stuff. If you have any questions, there's a contact thing on the website. My wife is all in on this. She's even going to take the course to be a certified pet nutritionist. That's how important this is for my wife and our family and our fur babies. So yeah, go to healthyswitch.petclub247.com, and we'll see you there.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. You said your pets don't have a voice. My cat would beg to differ.
Well, your cat speaks?
Oh, he can. He lets you know when he's hungry.
Oh, yeah. They have a way. They do have a way of communicating. But yeah, the voice, for, not if they eat stuff that's crap, they can't say. You just notice that they're not acting the same. They're getting older quicker, hip joint issues. Not being able to jump up on the couch, just dragging ass. Yep. Stomach problems, bloating, all this stuff. If you look online, you can find the documentary done. I think it's by the Animal Planet, called Pet Fooled, Fooled, instead of Pet Food. Mm-hmm. Pet Fooled, Fooled. That documentary exposes all the nasty, nefarious crap that's going on in the pet food industry.
Master Baggy knows. He said, "Feed me right now, meow meow." I'm like, yeah, it's like that, but it's more intense than that. He'll wake me up exactly at 6 o'clock, jumps on me in the bed, and just looks me in the face, and he just won't move until I get up. So, feed me. I need to be fed now. You understand? It's 6 a.m. It's time, but it's still dark. I don't care. No. It's time. They do have a way with words. So, oh boy. All right. Well, the jobs report came out. You want to jump into that, or do you have something you want to go to before?
No, that's fine, yeah.
Okay, so the jobs report came out. It's, I'm going to say horrific. They call it a horrific jobs report. Here's what I found interesting about it, and this is from Zero Hedge. What's that?
They called the report horrific?
Zero Hedge did.
Okay.
Today's jobs data was so ugly, not even the Biden administration had anything positive to say about it. Non-farm payroll. And we're almost at that number again. Under the Biden administration, increasingly more people, this is what's really interesting here, have been forced to take on 2 or more jobs to make ends meet. So that's what only is keeping the unemployment numbers up, is that people are working more than one job. In fact, in October, not necessarily seasonally adjusted, number of multiple job holders was a record high 8.5 million. And that's a surge of 396,000 in 1 month. Almost 400,000 people are working more than one job, and that was just in 1 month.
This is a comparison of the revised downward September number. So this is just the initial October number that we know will be revised lower, as it comes down. So it's even worse than what it appears, right? That's how they. Well,
that's a big point, Bruce, and it's been coming up again and again this year. Every time you have a jobs number that comes out, it's in the news as soon as it comes out, and then what they do is they wait a week, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then they revise it, and it's always worse than the number they initially gave us. So this is bad. You're right. If you wait another month, what is it going to look like? Nobody goes back and looks. What was the revised number last month?
Right. And if they're saying this number this bad now, and we know that it's all smoke and mirrors and a shell game, when they cook the books, any number that comes out of government agencies, you can't trust it. So if they're saying it's that bad, it's probably a lot worse.
Yep.
And they'll manipulate this. The inflation number they say is lower, and it's just not reality. And then also in that same article, it triggers. There's this SAM's rule, SAHM's rule. It's a countdown to a recession. We know that a few years ago when everything tanked, seemingly they decided to change the definition of what a recession is. So it's not great out there on the economic sense. And just ask anybody out there trying to make ends meet. Just like I said, people are getting 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs. It's not gas and food. Food is probably food and housing And I think a lot of the housing numbers are, from inflation and stuff. I know we're talking about jobs, but a lot of the housing numbers are eliminated out of their calculations.
Yeah, did you notice that too? That's crazy. It's like it's almost like we don't have to pay for housing. No, you have to pay for housing. Right. And normally what you want to say is your housing shouldn't cost more than 1 week's salary per month. So your first week of the month, you're working for your housing, and then you're working for your car payment, then you're working for your food, your entertainment, right? And that's kind of the way you want to look at a very basic idea of a budget. They take it out of there? Really?
That's the most huge expense. I mean, it's insane. I have a real estate license that's inactive right now. I'm a licensed broker here in Florida. And I keep an eye on the market all the time, and it's not sustainable. It's not affordable. People, everybody thinks Florida's great. People are bailing out of Florida because the cost of living here in Florida is exorbitant.
Oh, you can thank the Californians for that.
Yeah, I mean, out of all the 50 states, I think Florida ranks number 4 as far as the highest cost of living in the entire country. So I mean, they say when you come down here, you got to pay for the sunshine. But yeah, the sun, but you're teeing it up the backside where the sun don't shine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's insane. What they're putting us through, and the jobs, it's just not great. And the wages too. Everybody's big places are going out of business. They're pushing this $20-$25 an hour minimum wage. McDonald's for flipping burgers. That's just not sustainable. Anybody with any skill, you can't, as an employer, you can't afford to hire these people.
Yeah.
It's because it's setting us up for a huge crash.
No, it's setting us up to really replace all these jobs with AI and robots is what's going to happen. So you're going to walk into a McDonald's and there'll be no employees. There'll be a kiosk. You put your order in and then you wait in line, and then the AI is flipping or the robots are making your burgers and packaging everything, and you grab it and you walk out.
That's likely true.
Yep, that's what's going to. Yeah, because you can't afford if you have a minimum wage at $25 an hour, that hamburger is going to be costing you $15. You know what I mean? You got to pay for it somehow. The money's got to come from someplace.
And the companies don't take it on the chin. That's 100% true.
Well, they can't. If there's no profit margin.
Through.
Yeah. Without a profit margin, they can't operate. So. Yeah, we're in a very sticky spot as far as the economy goes. And I know there are a lot of people on this broadcast. Watch a job. Should I take a second job? A side hustle? Or some people join Numi. That's a side hustle. It helps us a little bit financially, helps us to pay the internet bills and keep things going, and replace cameras when cameras need to be replaced, and that kind of thing. That kind of thing's helpful. I think everybody right now needs to be having that in mind and say, okay, I've got my primary income, but what if that goes away? Where's my side hustle? Where's something else that I've got going on? Pets 24/7, as you announced, your partnership with, that could be something somebody could help with. They could get certified, and they can help, and Absolutely. They could sell that. They could sell Numi. They could be, you know what I mean? There are things you can do to bring in some additional income to kind of help pay the bills, because the bills are getting higher, they're not getting lower. We're hoping we're going to get to that point where, things change, but we're not there yet. And I think we got to think for the moment rather than thinking about, it'll be better at some point. Well, you still need to eat right now, right? You still need to pay for food.
You got to make hay while you can.
Yeah, it's stunning to go into the supermarket these days. I mean, I always keep an eye on prices and stuff. This is something, as a marketer, I always do that. And to see how much the prices have come up from what I remember things to be. I mean, $7-8 for a little chunk of cheese that used to be like $3-4. It's like, it's more than double. It's just, how are people affording this? This is crazy.
The prices are going up and the packages are getting smaller.
You notice that too. That's called stagflation. So what they do, they keep the price the same.
Used to get 12 ounces of whatever, and now you're getting, in the same size package. It looks the same. It's all smoke and mirrors and a shell game, like I say.
Yep. And
now you're getting 10 ounces, for a more price than you were paying the 12 ounces. So, I mean, not just looking at pricing, looking at the packaging, is you're getting less for more money. I mean, that's just the marketing game, how it goes.
That's called stagflation. So the stagflation, the meaning of stagflation is we're going to keep the price the same, but not necessarily the product content the same. So it's going to change. You'll see your chocolate bars are shrinking. You'll see your lollipops are a little bit smaller in diameter. You'll see your cereal boxes have more air, and your chip. So they'll look the same. But if you look at the details, you realize, I'm getting less. But the consumer really pays attention to the price, the dollar, not so much the ounces or the weight or anything like that. And what happens is it's a little bit of a trick. It's it's a way to, I understand it from a company's perspective. If you said, okay, this $6 box of cereal now has to be $10, they're not going to buy it. But if you can keep it at $6 and give them a little less, the psychology is they'll still buy it. So it's a game that they have to play.
Yep, it's a psyop. It's a forgive my language. It's a mind fuck, is what it is.
Yep.
Just as like you had mentioned, perfect example. I have been in the past a partaker of Coca-Cola, was my favorite, my drink of choice. But I noticed they got these mini 12 packs, or there's 10 packs now. They're not 12 packs, they're 10 packs. So that's one, but they got the smaller cans, and they used to be 8 ounces in a can. I was in the store the other day, and as I glanced by, 7.5 ounces per can now, in the same 10 pack for it was like $6. So I mean, that's just a perfect. It's happening every single time. I paid like $7.50 a fork and pound for chicken breast the other day. It's insane.
Yeah, and if you think about Coca-Cola, for gosh sakes, it's sugar water. You know what I mean? How much could this possibly cost them to make that they would have to go through that retooling and making their cans smaller? You know what I mean? How much of their expenses gone up?
Cost them pennies, on that grand scale. And on top of that, it's no good for you. I mean, unless you're a mechanic and you use it to clean the acid off the battery terminals, that's pretty much all it's good for.
Yep.
It's not great to have inside your gut.
I gave it up in 1995 when I first did my first Tony Robbins seminar. I changed. I'm not touching that stuff anymore.
I've gotten off of most of it. I could have to be honest. A full disclosure, I still like a little sip of it. While I'm having my dinner, I don't even. I used to drink like more than 2 liter in a day.
Wow.
But now I just take a few sips. While I'm having my dinner, and most of the other time I'm drinking my water.
Good for you. Good for you.
So that's why I'm looking so purty.
No, it's the Numi spray. I know
and
that.
It's this. I know.
Numi skin, baby. I love Numi skin. Good stuff. I got to start using it. Lewis was on my case about that. It's like, I just don't like anything on my skin. I'm not used to that. So he's like, oh, just use it. You'll look much better. Okay.
I mean, I haven't done anything else to start, spraying that. And more people are saying, "Hey, man, you're looking younger.
You are looking younger. I guarantee you that. I've noticed that too."
So I mean, that's I wish I'd have taken before and after, because if you go to the Numi site, there's all kinds of testimonials and pictures of before and after people that use the Numi skin for spraying on your face and stuff, and the lines and wrinkles and spots that are gone away is just mind blowing. So I mean, it's worth checking out. And then they got that new product as well. The Herms. Numi Herms in a nice purple mirrored looking bottle. It's very nice.
This is for the ladies. This is not for the men.
It's not even opened yet.
Yep. It's not for you.
It's for birthing persons.
Birthing persons, right? It's for the ladies. To
Gotta
help with
be
hormonal balance and such. Yes, exactly right.
I know.
Yep.
Screw that. Yeah, it's for women with uteruses.
There you go.
Breaking news. There's 2 genders. Everything else is mental illness.
How true. You know what's fascinating with all of this, and I hear somebody in the chat room and saying, "I'm so over this crap." It's just like, yeah, it's crazy. But the truth of the matter is that we should give them the link for Numi here. I have a link for you guys here if you want to order Numi, renegademedia.tv/energy, or you can just scan that QR code. That helps us, by the way. It helps us keep the channel alive, keeps it going. And, of course, Bruce is looking a lot younger because of it. There he goes. Boom!
Scanning the QR code.
I'll leave it
Making sure it works.
Does it work? Will it take you to where it needs to take you? Yes, it will. Thank you, Ronnie, for putting in the question. If we order hers, do we still need the regular Numi as a female? And the answer is yes. They're 2 different products.
Yeah.
Good question, Ronnie. Again, thank you for posting it there. I'm not paying attention 100% of times to the chat room, but I do catch some things that catch my eye. Okay, what do you got for us, Bruce? What's on your list of stuff? I've got some fun stuff here coming up, but
on the whole Adam Schiff thing that's kind of coming up.
Oh, tell me.
You that one?
I'm not aware.
Yeah, pencil neck.
Pencil neck Schiff.
Yeah, shifty Schiff, pencil neck. You see those little stress ball things that you squeeze them and the eyes pop out?
Yep.
That reminds me of him. Anyway, he's vying now. He's a member of Congress, or in the House of Representatives, representing California. And now he's wanting to go for Dianne Feinstein's Senate seat, right? But according to Conservative Brief, this is the headline: Docs reveal where Adam Schiff has lived for the last 2 decades. CNN reported Thursday that the California Democrat has claimed his primary residence is a 3,420 square foot home he owns in Maryland, according to review of mortgage records by CNN. At the same time, Shifty Schiff, Pencil Neck, has for years taken homeowners tax exemption on a much smaller 650 square foot condo he owns in Burbank, California, also claiming that home is his primary residence for a reduction in his tax bill of $7,000. So, here's a guy that, representing California, lives in Maryland, hasn't lived in California probably for 20 years. And this has all been proven. I mean, 2017, he paid his California property taxes on that little condo. 650 square feet is like the size of a large closet, with a personal check with his Maryland address on it. So, I don't think it's allowed for somebody to live in Maryland and run for Congress in California. And then if you remember, back when Feinstein, finally gave up the ghost and turned to dust, that they appointed, the gal they appointed, I can't even remember her name, was from Maryland. So I don't know if Maryland has been, taken over, been absconded. It's part of California now. If they're trying to move from the West Coast to the Obama, Barry was talking about when him and Big Mike got elected, or just before the election, that they're going to fundamentally transform America, right?
And they have.
Because that was all taught at the professors at Columbia University, where he allegedly got a degree. So he's all bought in, to that Cloward Piven. There's that strategy.
Yep.
Then there's the, the voter thing. All these, different reds or sanctuary cities are saying, no mas, letting anybody, get an ID, automatic registration of voters. When people get a driver's license, it's automatic. You don't even have an option. So they're to add more voters. I was reading one story that in some precincts, that's how they're strategically sending these people. In some precincts, 30 to 40 new people would shift a precinct from red to blue.
Wow.
So, I mean, these guys, this plan that they're using, this is another aspect of this illegal immigration. And then the third and more frightening is all the military age people, men without women and children coming across from all over the planet, could end up being MK Ultra, just waiting on a phone call or text. Hey, you've come in, we'll call you, you do X, Y, Z, and you're going to get citizenship, that type of thing. And then, cause chaos and, violence. Those are the 3 situations that are a huge problem with this immigration.
On point number 3, the military age kids coming in, Gene Decode had something really fascinating to share. And I'm going to let you guys know I'm going to run that interview after our show's over, but it's going to run on 2 channels. It's going to run on Renegade Media, and it's going to run on Unpopular Viewpoints. It's not going to be on the Screw Big Gov. So if you're on the Screw Big Gov channel, you want to jump over to Renegade Media or Unpopular Viewpoint, we're going to run it there. The stream will continue on those channels, but we'll end it here on Screw Big Gov, and we'll put it on that channel. But he has something really fascinating to say about that third point with all these military age men coming in. Last night, I was feeling really good. I had great dreams last night. So it was one of those things where, he opened the door to hope, which was really kind of cool to see. So excellent. We're going to run that interview.
That was a perfect teaser. Now I can't wait. I have to wait and watch now.
You're going to have to wait and watch too.
You're not going to let the cat out of the bag.
Yep. It's really, it was good. It was a good interview, and we're going to interview him again. Bruce, he said that he'd be happy to be interviewed again, so we'll bring him back. But this interview was pretty darn good. I really liked, I like what he had to share. He shared a lot of good stuff.
Excellent. Can't wait.
Yep. All right. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go here just yet. Oh, let's go. Let's do the weather story first. Oh, I love the Daily Mail, how they're very tabloid-like in their approach to things. The big freeze is coming, my friends. If you don't know what the big freeze is, well, here we are. We're starting to look at what the El Nino is going to bring, and they're showing here, if you look at this map here, anything that's in dark blue is going to have more moisture this year, and anything that's in brown is going to have less. So looks like we're going to have another rainy fall season here, or winter season here in California.
I wonder what would happen if you superimposed where all the fires are over that map, where there's no moisture and the fires are burning. I wonder if there's any correlation. That'd be an interesting thing. It just popped in my head.
Yeah, it would be interesting. We had some fires here yesterday, which was kind of interesting, and we could use less of those. So the U.S. should expect some drastic weather conditions for the upcoming months, as El Nino is set to come in especially strong this winter. New maps show how much snow you can expect to fall down in your state this winter based on average snowfall from past years. The blue is average snowfall, average rainfall, with record amounts of snow expected to descend on parts of the U.S. in the upcoming months. El Nino, which translates to little boy. Interesting, huh?
Very.
Can't tell you what the weather's going to be like tomorrow, but you know what? They know what it's going to be like December, January. They know.
And they know what it was millions of years ago to know how, a fraction of a degree has changed.
Yep.
I mean, if the real truth is, if, that we talk about that media megaphone, amplifying things.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading a Substack, and somebody said that the scientific, there's like 97% people dissenting from the climate cult crisis thing. And you've seen the pictures all over the place, of, they say that the ice is going to melt, the oceans are going to flood, and, it'd be beachfront property in Kansas. But if you just look from like the early 1800s, a picture of Liberty Island, what do they call that? There's an island there where the Statue of Liberty's on.
Liberty Island, yep.
Yeah, Liberty Island from like 1800s, and then just recently, sea level then, sea level now, and that's island. It's exactly the same over a couple hundred years. So these guys are pissing in the wind, thinking that they're going, that we're, it's all about the only way to save the planet, people. Just listen to Al Gore. The only way to save the planet is we got to pay more taxes, and that's the only way we're going to change the climate. Is we got to pay more money.
Yeah, because money fixes climate change, right?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. It's a direct one-to-one correlation. For every dollar you give, a degree of temperature comes down. So, I mean, if you buy into that garbage, come on. Yep. I was born at night, but not last night.
Well, another topic.
Donald Trump approves of the message.
Yeah, it's another topic that
very timely. Don is always very timely in his message.
Gene Decode covered that topic too, because I asked them about that. I also asked them about med beds. I also asked them about Israel and Palestine, and he just we were for an hour, and him, he's got so much to share. So people are asking, has Gene come on yet? No, he's going to come on as soon as we're done here with this show. We're going to bump off of Screw Big Gov, and we're going to be on Renegade Media and Unpopular Viewpoints. So Bruce, why don't you go on the Screw Big Gov and put your link to your channel, and I'll do the same so they can pick one of our channels. Actually, you should follow all three.
You mean on the Rumble in the comments?
On the Rumble chat, yeah.
Oh, in chat, okay.
Yep.
Let me figure out how to work this computer. we got a looks like there's a troll or something spamming the chat, my chat. So I'm gonna have to kick this guy out.
All right. So while you're doing that, I'll talk about our buddy Elon Musk, who has been talking about how bad AI can be. So they've been working behind the scenes now and creating their own. Elon Musk is set to launch his own AI tomorrow to a select group of people. I wish I was part of the select group of people he was going to launch it to. That'd be fun. He's set to roll out the first model of his AI-powered system called xAI on Saturday, one day after he proclaimed the tech is the biggest risk to humanity. So artificial intelligence, he figures, is the biggest risk to humanity, so he's created his own. The billionaire said on Friday that he's opening up early access to select group, but details of who that is has not been shared. I can tell you I didn't get the invite. Just saying, If I got it, I'd let you know. In some important or some important respects, AI's new model is the best that currently exists, the Tesla CEO said on Friday. Tesla CEO, Twitter CEO, he's got quite a few titles, hasn't he? Musk, who has been critical of big tech's AI efforts and censorship, said earlier this year that he would launch a maximum truth-seeking AI that tries to understand the nature of the universe to rival Google's Bard and Microsoft's Bing AI. Interesting. I'm on board. I want to find out. There's good and bad with AI, right? So we talked about some of the ugly, the good, bad, and the ugly. We talked about some of the ugly this week. We've been talking about some of the bad, some of the deep fakes that are out there. So maybe there's something that could be good that come out of this. I don't know.
I mean, it is a tool. I mean, and it's all dependent on your intention with the tool.
Yep.
And the people who are actually, making that initial algorithm are, have a lot to what the end outcome is going to be. Because after a point, the thing kind of learns and takes over, and then it, the fear that's going to become a sentient being, after a period of time. But it's your intention. The intention. It's just a tool. It's just like money. It's just like any other technology. It's what you're planning to do with it. It's a tool. It can be used for good or evil.
Yep.
Just like money can be used for good or evil.
Yep.
Just like technology can be used for good or evil. It's all about your intention. And I think a lot of us, patriots and wakened up, spiritual types, have want to, distance ourselves. But I say, hell no. We need, and Lewis says it all the time, we're reclaiming the shit that they stole, that they, meant for good. Numbers.
That's
and all
right.
that
we have to
stuff.
reclaim the rainbow.
For all these whack job mental ill people.
Yep.
Rainbow I'm stuttering. The rainbow is intended as a message from God that after the flood of the earth, right? That's what the rainbow was intended for initially from a Christian biblical worldview. So, I mean, we need to reclaim this stuff, and it's all about your intent. Because I can use AI and all kinds of stuff as it helps me time and all that stuff. So, I'm on board with some AI, but there has to be some type of controls in case.
So when he took over Twitter, he blocked all the API access to Twitter. Now, why did he do that? Well, it turns out that Twitter, all the information that we were putting on Twitter, all the posts, the tweets, the videos, the memes, everything we were putting on there was being used to train other AIs. It's called a fire hose. It's always been that way, right? So Google would literally index every single tweet. So it was a great tool if you wanted to get, better ranking in search engine. You would just keep putting your web address in there with different keywords, and Google would keep getting it, and you'd get more backlinks and that kind of thing. You'd get more exposure for your website. So Elon Musk figured out it's like they're using Twitter, they're accessing the API, they're getting every single tweet, and what they're doing is they're using it to train the AI models. So Microsoft was doing that, Google was doing that. So he said, they're not paying us for that, no more. He cut it off. Well, in cutting it off, he also cut off, I can schedule posts on Twitter, I can do things like that. All of that got shut down too. Oh well, no big deal, small price to pay. He's been against these AI models because they're very biased. So if you use ChatGPT, you can find the bias in there pretty quickly. You come across it when you start asking anything.
Blackmail and honeypot situation for all kinds of actors and important people and politicians and all that type of stuff. They had all the stuff. I mean, that's what they do is they compromise, get you in a compromised position, and then they own you, and you do whatever the F they want, or else they're going to let these pictures and stories fly.
Yep. It's the world we live in. And I'm glad for people like you, Bruce, because you dig this stuff up and can dig into this and help us sort of open the book and open the door and let some light into those dark areas that we would not normally see.
I mean, and it's hard to look at, honestly, really. Yeah. We don't want to believe it, we want to believe that generally people are good, like the Luke Bryan song. But the more you look into these people that we're up against, these ruling elites, these Luciferian asshats, I call them, there isn't adjectives bad enough to describe how bad it is. And I know it's just a term of speech. MB is giving me shit in the my chat saying there's no globe. So I mean, it's flat. I understand.
Around the globe, or if you prefer, around the pancake. We got it. Okay.
Yeah, or whatever you want. Around the rock that we call Earth.
Yep. Hey, put some hearts in the chat room if you like Bruce's hair. I want to see some hearts in the chat room. Put some hearts in there if you like his hair.
Yeah, just a quick
turn it around. Let's see the back of it there, Bruce. Look at that.
It goes all the way. And this isn't that spray paint stuff for Halloween. This is actual real dye. And if you're brand new, having never seen it, so it's his outward expression. I decided to do it, number one, because I can. Number two, because I have that testicular fortitude. But, you know, it's an outward expression of inward feeling. Even Ben Bergquam in that little clip said that gal didn't want to go on the camera because she was afraid for her daughter's job, right? We need to get beyond our fear, beyond, you know, worrying about what other people think, the social aspect or the ostracization, if that's even a word, on social media or losing your job. We need to be bold. And so this is what I'm doing. If I could dye my hair red, white, and blue, then you can do something, you know, to step out a little bold, you know, step out of your comfort zone and get in the game, get in the fight. That's, you know, one reason. And then the second reason is, yeah, we have to be bold. You have to choose a side, right? The silent majority can be silent no more. This is how we're going to win.
Lots of hearts coming in the chat room. Thank you, guys. Yes, they love it. They love it. They love it. Linda loves
Bonnie
it.
Lewis,
Ronnie loves it.
Love Bruce, but. And then she's wondering about my gender.
Uh-oh.
Is that what that means? The emojis? I'm not a good emoji reader. No, I am fully male.
Don't tell me you had to check to be sure.
No, yeah, still there.
Here's
still
something that Ed Dowd
Twig
posted.
And berries, yeah.
Ed Dowd posted this morning. Some really kind of surprising news. Well, maybe not surprising. The immunity is you do what the FDA approved and you're safe. You do something other, then you're not safe anymore. So there are going to be a lot of lawsuits coming out of that. And I expect, and, you know, Gene Decode was kind of on there because he's a naturopath. And, you know, he says it's going to go away. Big Pharma will go away. And we're not going to see it much longer. So, you know, brace yourselves. We're in for some big changes.
Yeah. I mean, United States is only one of two countries on the rock that we call Earth that allow.
Oh, good save there, Bruce. It's a rock. It could be flat. It could be round. It's a rock.
Yeah. Oh, it's a hollow honeycomb, didn't you know? Anyway, yeah. So they're the two countries. I think the United States is one, and I believe New Zealand is the other. So they're programming people. There are a lot of hypochondriacs out there. They're listening to like, oh shit. They run to their doctor. I got this, and this, and they say, oh okay. Here's a pill that the pharmaceutical rep just dropped off that said if I don't get rid of these, they're not going to come back anymore. Yep. So I mean, it's a racket. I mean, doctors and pharmacies are just legal drug dealers for the legal pushers for the pharmaceutical industry.
And by the way, glutathione in form of Numi is helpful to help get some of this stuff out of your system. It's not the complete solution, but it certainly is a good start to help your liver, because your liver's got to detox this crap and get it out of your system. So yeah, that's one way of doing it, is support your body. Give it what it needs to do what it needs to do, because it knows what to do.
That's the thing. And there's a lot of people get confused. You know, the EE system stuff, the glutathione, you know, the supplements, the even the Peclip 247, the Coleoris versicolor mushroom, and any other thing we take. It's not that particular item that does anything to whatever your situation is. It repairs your body to let your body do the work, the immune system that God gave you and it functions. If it works properly, it can defend itself and you can defeat anything. I was going to say almost anything, but you can defeat anything.
According to the FDA, the reason you cannot use the word cure, listen to this, legally, you can't use the word cure because
and that's what they're using. That started the whole Russiagate thing, the abuse of the FISA system, and so this is an ongoing thing that we can see this corruption of the three-letter agency, CIA, FBI, mainly. And it just recently up on Capitol Hill, you had Christopher Wray, good or bad, I have no idea, but he was up there begging Congress to continue or extend some portion of the FISA warrant stuff that's set to expire at the end of this year. So they're still doing it. The DOJ is going after, more J6ers who weren't even near the building. They were just on the property. That's another article that came out. So the government is not your friend. And there's plenty of evidence that, historical evidence and current evidence that, supports that fact. So them to be, for justice to be blind, and then them to claim that they're the premier law enforcement agency to protect and serve the United States is a bunch of BS. It's fake, phony, and false, as Dave from X22 says. So just, keep in mind, government's not your friend, and these three-letter agencies have been doing this forever. So this isn't some new thing that just popped up.
Yeah. You're kind of getting tired of hearing all the nonsense, but
I never knew about this guy. He's like the 1970s Snowden. Came out, Army Captain Christopher Pyle in the 70s, and he was involved in helping initiate that whole church commission thing. So it was a very interesting read. I'll post the link on my Telegram and on the description of the video, or maybe in the comments of the video. So if you want to check it out, it's a fantastic read. I learned a lot.
If you want to email us, Robert@renegademedia.tv, that's my email, and Bruce is brucepoppy@switch-usa.com. Take a screenshot of that, or take your camera and take a picture of it if you want to keep in touch with us during the week. Sad that we're only here on the weekend, or on Fridays, I should say, but a lot of you want more. We want more Bruce. Bruce, I hear rumors that you're going to be doing more interviews as well, as I'm doing more interviews now, and we're going to be putting them on our respective channels. So make sure you follow Unpopular Viewpoint on Rumble and also Renegade Media. And Bruce, as we wrap up today, people are asking, did Gene start yet? Gene is going to come on in just a few minutes. So we say goodbye here.
A few more minutes. I got a couple. One more quick story. I get people's input on. I need you people to comment.
Okay. Because
this article, this story, doesn't give a conclusion of what's going on. And yes, there's been a lot of going on, and been a life transformation, not just my hair, but I'm redoing everything, get everything set up right. We're going to come out hard with more interviews and stuff coming up. But the story that I found on 100% Fed Up, and it's from other places, even it was on Gateway Pundit, is anybody in New York City in the chats in New York City? Anybody in New York City in the chats? Have you seen any of those red shopping carts with the green bags tied up all over the place? What are those? There's let me see if I can share the screen real quick to show if you've seen these. Yeah, here it is. Let's see, where's that at? Share screen. We'll do this one. Boom. Oh. Give it a second. So there it is. So here's the article. Why are there red shopping carts with green bags tied up all over New York City? And then people are, there's videos in this story of New Yorkers saying, hey, what is this? And there's like these, I don't know what these are, plastic bags. I don't know what's in there. Can't really tell. Blankets or something. Does anyone know who puts these carts all over New York City? Why? By who? And that goes, there's a bunch of, people in, videos, Twitter posts, people saying, stay away from those chained up red shopping carts. I don't know what they are. But they're all over the place. Some allegedly, New York City, according to this article, and all these people on TikTok and Twitter and all these other places want to know what the heck. Why are these weird-looking shopping carts strapped up all over New York City? So, if anybody has information concerning that situation in New York City, inquiring minds want to know.
They look a lot like blankets for the homeless.
That's what it does.
That's what I'm thinking. Who knows?
Oh, did I have my hand up?
Did you?
Somebody, I don't know. It just gave me a fake notification on here. You haven't talked. Looks like you're done talking, so we're going to lower your hand.
That's right.
I don't know what that was about. Zoom.
Did you call and ask a question? I don't know.
So we're about ready.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
We are ready. So we're going to say
how's this going to work? I'm not very technical. I'll just turn my camera off, and then you'll take over showing the screen.
Yep.
And it's a recorded interview with Gene Decode.
Gene Decode, yep. And for those of you who are watching on ScrewBigGov, you got to hop over to Renegade Media. Bruce put your link in there as well, or Unpopular Viewpoint, either one. And make sure you follow those channels, because we're going to be doing more like this, more things like this, and we're going to be leaving the ScrewBigGov channel for here. As well, we're streaming on their channel today. Yeah, we're streaming there today as well. So we're going to leave those two behind, and we're going to head over to our channels, Renegade Media and Unpopular Viewpoint, for Gene Decode. So thank you, SBG audience. We love you, and we will see you on Monday. We'll be here at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern for Lewis and the News.